In the heart of Abakaliki town, a quiet but vibrant place in southeastern Nigeria, lived a young girl named Chiamerem. She was known across the town for her beauty, clean with smooth dark skin that glistened under the sunlight, large almond-shaped eyes that seemed to carry secrets, and long black hair that framed her youthful face. People often stopped to admire her when she passed by, and many young men tried to win her attention. But Chiamerem wasn't interested in them. She had dreams of her own, dreams that were bigger than the small life her family could offer her. Chiamerem came from a humble background. Her father, Okeke, was a farmer, and her mother, Ezinne, sold foodstuffs at the local market. They were good people, hardworking and kind, but they had little to offer their daughter. Chiamerem had watched them struggle all her life, sometimes going to bed without food when the harvest was poor, and wearing the same clothes year after year. She loved them dearly, but she knew that this was not the life she wanted for herself. One day, news spread through the town that a wealthy businessman, Chief Ebube, was returning to Abakaliki after years of living in Lagos. Chief Ebube was an older man in his late 50s with a large round belly and a face marked by years of experience and privilege. He had made his fortune in construction and real estate and was known for his vast wealth. He owned several houses, luxury cars, and properties all over the state. People said he was also generous, helping those in need whenever he could. But there was also whispers about how he had made some of his money and how his first wife had died mysteriously many years ago. Still, to many in Abakaliki, he was a figure to admire, a man of means and power. When Chiamerem first heard about Chief Ebube, she didn't think much about him. He was just another rich man, like so many others who had come and gone from the town. But everything changed when she met him. It was at a local festival, one of the biggest events of the year, where people gathered to celebrate the harvest season. Chiamerem had gone with her friends, dressed in her best outfit, a colorful dress that clung to her figure and accentuated her beauty. As she danced and laughed with her friends, she noticed Chief Ebube watching her from a distance. At first, she ignored him, but as the nights went on, she realized he was still watching her, his eyes following her every move. It wasn't long before one of his men approached her. If she would like to see Chief, curious and a little flattered by the attention, she agreed. When they finally met face to face, Chief Ebube was charming, complimenting her beauty and grace. He spoke to her with the smoothness of someone who had everything in life. It wasn't long before he asked her to visit him at his mansion. Chiamerem was hesitant at first. She knew what people would think, a young girl like her being seen with an older man like Chief Ebube. But the more she thought about it, the more she realized what an opportunity it could be. Chief Ebube was rich, very, very rich, and she knew that he would change her life in ways that no one else could. Her parents wouldn't have to struggle anymore, and she would live a life of luxury. So after much thought, she agreed to visit him. Chief Ebube wasted no time in wooing her. He showered her with expensive gifts, jewelry, clothes, and even a car. He promised her the world, telling her that he would take care of her and her family if she became his wife. Chiamerem knew what he wanted in return, but she didn't mind. She had already made up her mind that she would marry him. The thought of being rich and powerful was too tempting to resist. Her parents, however, were not as easily convinced. When Chiamerem told them about Chief Ebube's proposal, they were shocked. Her father especially was against the idea. He didn't trust Chief Ebube and was worried about the age difference. "He's old enough to be your father," Okeke said. his voice filled with concern. But Chiamerem was determined. She argued that it was her life and that she deserved to live in comfort. I don't want to struggle like you and Mama, she told him. I want more than this. In the end, her parents reluctantly agreed. They didn't want to stand in the way of their doubt, and so the wedding was planned. It was a grand affair with all the important people in Abakaliki in attendance. Chiamerem looked stunning in her white dress. Chief Ebube beamed with pride as he stood by her side. For a while, everything seemed perfect. Chiamerem had gotten everything she wanted: a big house, a life of luxury, and a husband who adored her. But as time went on, things began to change. Chiamerem quickly realized that being married to Chief Ebube wasn't as glamorous as she had imagined. He was controlling, always wanting to know where she was and who she was with. He didn't like her going out without him, and he became jealous whenever other men looked at her. At first, she thought it was because he loved her, but soon his jealousy turned into something darker. One night, after returning from a friend's birthday party, Chiamerem found Chief Ebube waiting for her in the living room. He was furious, accusing her of flirting with other men at the party. Chiamerem tried to explain that she had done nothing wrong, but he wouldn't listen. In his anger, he slapped her, hard enough to make her fall to the ground. It was the first time he had ever hit her, and it shocked her to her core. She couldn't believe that the man who promised to take care of her would raise his hand against her. From that night on, things only got worse. Chief Ebube became more possessive, more controlling. He would lock her in the house whenever he went on a business trip, making sure that she had no way of leaving. Chiamerem felt like a prisoner in her own home. The wealth and luxury that had once seemed so appealing now felt like a cage. One day, while cleaning out one of the old rooms in the mansion, Chiamerem stumbled upon something that made her blood run cold. Hidden behind a pile of old furniture was a small chest. Inside the chest were photographs and letters, all of them from Chief Ebube's first wife, the one who had died under mysterious circumstances. As she read through the letters, Chiamerem discovered the truth. Chief Ebube had been abusive towards his first wife, just as he was now with her. The letters detailed years of torment, and the photographs showed the bruises and scars that the woman had suffered. In the final letter, the first wife had written that she feared for her life, and that if anything happened to her, it would be because of her husband. Chiamerem was horrified. She realized that the whispers about Chief Ebube had been true all along. His first wife hadn't died of natural causes. She had been killed, and now Chiamerem began to make plans. She knew she couldn't confront Chief Ebube directly. He was too powerful, and she had no proof of what he had done, but she couldn't stay with him any longer. One night, while Chief Ebube was away on one of his business trips, Chiamerem packed a small bag and fled the mansion. She went to a neighboring town where she stayed with a distant relative, hoping that Chief Ebube wouldn't be able to find her. For weeks, she lived in fear, always looking over her shoulder, waiting for the day when Chief Ebube would come after her. But he never did. Instead, news soon spread through Abakaliki that Chief Ebube had been arrested. It turned out that one of his business partners had turned against him, revealing all of the illegal dealings that had made him rich. Chief Ebube was charged with multiple crimes, including fraud and embezzlement, and was sentenced to many years in prison. Chiamerem couldn't believe The man who had once seemed so powerful, so untouchable, had been brought down by his own grief. With him gone, she finally felt free. In the end, Chiamerem returned to her family, humbled and wiser. She realized that wealth and power weren't everything, and that true happiness couldn't be bought. Her experience with Chief Ebube had changed her, but she was determined to start over, to build a life for herself on her own time, and so she did. Chiamerem opened a small business in Abakaliki, selling clothes and accessories, and slowly she began to build her life. She was no longer the naive girl who had once been blinded by riches, but a woman who understood the value of independence and self-worth. Though she scars of her past would always remain, she knew that she had escaped a fate far worse, and that was enough to give her hope for the future.